window into the American immigrant experience.
Hi, I'm Jean Kwok, and today I'd like to talk to you about libraries and what they've meant to me in my life. I'm a first-generation Chinese immigrant, and we moved from Hong Kong to Brooklyn, New York when I was 5 years old. We wound up living in the slums of Brooklyn and in an unheated apartment that was completely overrun with roaches and with rats. To make things even worse, my family started working in a clothing factory in Chinatown, and I went along with them to help, even though I started when I was only 5. I spent most of my childhood living in that apartment and working at the factory. So maybe you can imagine what my public library meant to me at that time in my life, because it was truly a refuge. Not just a refuge in the sense of intellectually, which I think many people find that, but it was also a physical refuge. It was a place where I could go and be warm and be in a clean environment, a safe environment, filled with lovely librarians who I love to this day. And I'm really quite sure that I would not have become the person I am today. And I definitely would not have become a writer if there had not been a public library.
Welcome, Joyce. You and your family have been generous supporters of the library over the last few years. What is it about HPL that inspires you?
The library offers so much for young people. It's a welcoming place for them after school, somewhere to do their homework, but also to explore new ideas and experiences. I'm proud to be able to assist Hartford Public Library to make resources and spaces available for Hartford's young people. And I'd like to encourage everyone to join me and my family in funding the mission of Hartford Public Library by making a contribution.
Thank you again, Joyce, for all that you do for the Hartford Public Library.
And thank you, Greg, for introducing me to the Hartford Public Library and for your friendship all these years. Love you.
Love you too.
We're thrilled to have the acclaimed Julia Alvarez joining us to tell her story. She is the author of international best-selling novels, How the Garcia Girls Lost Their Accents, In the Time of the Butterflies, Yo, In the Name of Salome, Saving the World, and Afterlife, of poetry collections of 3 nonfiction works and numerous books for young readers. In 2013, President Obama awarded Julia the National Medal of Arts.
I'm very grateful that the city of Hartford, Connecticut, has chosen In the Time of the Butterflies for this year's Big Read program. I know for a fact that there are many Dominicanos in Hartford, so a big shout out to all of you. Hola, paisanos. This novel, In the Time of the Butterflies, is based on the true story of 4 sisters, the Mirabar sisters, code-named Mariposas, in the Dominican Republic, who inspired the country to free itself from a 31-year dictatorship. Their story continues to inspire women and men around the world. These are very challenging and difficult times. Many of us are feeling desolate, isolated, and alone. It's why the Big Read program is even more important now. We join with others to share a story and therefore feel less alone. May you feel accompanied and inspired by the story of these remarkable freedom fighters, the Mirabar sisters. Thank you and gracias. Stay safe, and we'll be back together in the spring.
My name is Kelly. I was born in Ethiopia, later moved to Uganda. I came to the United States at the age of 16 years old through the official UN refugee program. I found out about the after-school English program at the Hartford Library through a friend, which was really great because it helped me with my school homework and college prep. Being part of the program made me feel at home, and it made me feel comfortable because I was surrounded by kids that had the same experience as I did. While I was at the Summer Nexus program at Trinity College, I loved it there, and Miss Brophy from the Hartford Public Library said, "This might be your school." Even though I'm at college, I'm still connected with the staff at the library and also the kids from the program. Hartford Public Library is truly a special place of giving and caring.
Hello, I'm Joe Gianni, Greater Hartford Market President for Bank of America. It's a pleasure to be here at Hartford Public Library's Digital Library Lab. The Digital Library Lab is a new social enterprise venture which speaks to Hartford Public Library's commitment to the community, to innovation, and to education. In 2019, Hartford Public Library received Bank of America's Neighborhood Builder Award, which recognizes the library as a nonprofit leader willing to tackle tough issues. Giving to the library is an investment in our collective future. That's why I'm encouraging you today to support Hartford Public Library's 2020 Beyond Words campaign. We are thankful for Hartford Public Library and the national example it sets to foster economic mobility, adult education, youth engagement, and workforce readiness. Please join me and support Hartford Public Library's Beyond Words campaign and put your dollars to work in our community. Thanks for your consideration. Continue to be safe and stay healthy.
My name is Elena. I was born in Hartford, Connecticut. As a historian of American history, it is important for me to make it clear that the history of Puerto Rico between 1898 and currently today, we cannot separate that history from the history of the U.S. Another thing is that what people often forget is that there's a history of Puerto Ricans in the U.S. And that history doesn't get told. And for me, that history was right in my backyard. And so it was in 2018 when I first visited the Hartford History Center, and I realized that they had so much material that it was really a disservice to not write a dissertation on Puerto Ricans, and particularly on Puerto Ricans in Hartford, when we have so much rich material both out there and in here to uncover that has not been talked about. I've been very fortunate that since I came in the doors in 2018, they've been extremely helpful with pointing me to material, but also helping support me as a scholar and encouraging me, and maybe a little bit of intimidation by telling me that my dissertation will be housed in here. But it's the right amount of encouragement that I need, and so it really is a great space, and I would encourage anyone wanting to know more about the history of Hartford to come here, whether that is the history of the Dutch colony of Connecticut or whether you want to talk about the 1990s in Connecticut. All of that material is here.
It's so great to have a local West Hartford resident, author Amity Gage, here with us to share her library story. Amity is the author of 4 novels, Oh My Darling, The Folded World, Schroeder, and her most recent novel, Sea Wife, was just released in spring of 2020. Amity is a Fulbright Fellowship winner and in 2016 was awarded a Guggenheim Fellowship for fiction. The longtime visiting writer at Amherst College, Amity currently teaches creative writing at Yale.
Hi, I'm Amity Gage, and I'm so happy to have a chance to praise libraries, especially the Hartford Public Library. I was lucky to have a chance to speak to the American Librarian Association in Philadelphia this last winter to publicize my new book, Sea Wife, that was just published. And my mother, when she heard that I was invited to the conference, sent me a long list of things I was supposed to say, mostly anecdotes about how libraries are important to us and how they relate to our personal family history. And I said, Mom, I only get a couple minutes to talk about my book, to publicize my book. And she said, okay, well, just tell them one thing, which is that your mother was a librarian when she was pregnant with you. And that's why you're a writer. I started training to become a citizenship coach at the American Place program at the Hartford Library in the winter of 2020, this past winter. The goal was to become a tutor for people who are trying to pass their citizenship test and their naturalization interview. I came in and was so inspired by the students in the class who were studying for their citizenship test. They were so enthusiastic, kind, and warm. I've been thinking about those people a lot during this period of time, and I've been thinking about all the roadblocks really that they had before the pandemic, to what they wanted. The difficulty of the test, the transportation to class, the huge fee to pay for the processing of fee for their naturalization, which just went up, is about to go up 82% to over $1,000, all these things. And I thought, in the end, I was like, what, this pandemic's not going to stop them, that immigrants are used to roadblocks and they're survivors. And it sort of made me happy to know that they had a place at the library. The library was going to be there for them on the other side of this. And apparently, I guess Zoom classes have now resumed, which is amazing.
Bridging the digital divide is definitely a big part of what UMedia is about. What inspired me to be a mentor as I started here at UMedia was I wanted to find a space where I could bring together my love for photography and just art in general, and my passion for serving my community and particularly serving young people. I'm from Hartford, so I wanted to make sure that I came back and provided something back to the young people as somebody had provided for me.
Nigel really opened the doors for me, and at first he saw that I liked it. He saw that I was paying attention to him doing this, stuff like that. So he'll try to sit me down, but I was still in the mindset of what am I doing here? I don't know what to do yet. Every time he see me, he'll be like, hey Dom, come here. You want to see what I'm doing now? And he'll make it cool. I would shoot videos, I would take pictures, and I just felt alive.
The thing about UMedia is that it is a lot more one-on-one as opposed to myself with 20 students. And I like that because it's personal. I get to know the students. I also get to know what they want. So I might have a lesson plan and I might need to tweak it so that it's personal to them.
I can get technology here that I can't get anywhere else. I was notified that there was a position for an internship, and so I interviewed. I met Mike, I met Nigel, and other people from the library, and it was pretty exciting, all this technology. So that's how I got to where I am right now.
One of my favorite things about UMedia is the fact that our mentorship goes beyond the walls of UMedia, right? Goes beyond these windows and these doors. We've even talked about how to help young folks apply for grants that will help them to push their interests, in art further, or to help them get into school and to pursue their goals as far as education or careers.
I'm really interested in the future. I think it's the most important part of our lives, and the future is here.
You just saw, once again, why the Hartford Public Library truly is a place like no other, and why we are so blessed to have the Hartford Public Library team in our city. For those extraordinary young people to have access to that kind of technology, to those resources, is an incredible thing. Beyond all that the Hartford Public Library has done to help bridge the digital divide and increase connectivity and access to technology, Hartford Public Library has also stayed rooted in its core mission, which is being a convening place, being a place where folks can come in and access knowledge, whether through a book or a computer, and beyond that, being a leader in lifting up our entire community, because we want to make sure that the Hartford Public Library can continue to deliver the kind of services that has made it a national leader among public libraries. So thank you for your support already. Whatever you can do will make such a difference. We're so grateful for your support. Stay healthy, stay safe, God bless, and go Hartford.
Hi, everyone. I'm Marlene Ibsen from Travelers. Thanks to all of you for your support of the Hartford Public Library. And Wally, your support as a giant in literature speaks volumes. Travelers has been a longtime supporter of the library,